Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here with a look at the forecast for the Easter holiday weekend. And I'm going to be honest, it is a great one. I don't know that we could ask for better weather for the Easter weekend. We made it to 80 Friday afternoon, so after a week of up and down temperatures where we started on a high note and went down to the 70s for the middle part of the week, we finished back up high above average for the time of year. 80 Sacramento, 78 in Stockton, 75 Modesto, 78 Fairfield Friday afternoon, 79 Vacaville, 79 in Marysville, 60s and 70s in the foothills, 50s in the high country. Again, this was above average once again. So again, this week has just been warmer than normal, right at normal, cooler than normal, and then finishing back near 80. It's almost been like turning a switch on and off, where 89 was the warmest day of the year so far. Then the switch went off and we went back down below average. 71 Wednesday, 71 Thursday, and then we turned the switch back on and we're 80 on Friday. So yeah, mostly above average so far this month, though we've had 5 degrees below normal in April. Saturday morning, starting off clear and cool. Some models may be showing some patchy fog Saturday morning, but it's not likely to be widespread, especially outside of the Delta. So we're still going to call it clear and cool, with the exception that we could see some patchy fog Saturday morning. But Saturday afternoon, sunny skies once again near 80 degrees, even a touch warmer for some areas, especially in the San Joaquin Valley. Saturday afternoon, I've got 80 Sacramento, 81 Stockton, 81 Manteca, 81 in Modesto, 76 Vacaville, 75 in Fairfield, 80 Marysville, 82 in Colusa, 80 in Oroville, 74 Jackson, 73 in Auburn, 62 in Truckee, and 59 in South Lake Tahoe. So 80 on Saturday, sunny and warm with that Delta breeze. Sunday, Easter Sunday, the holiday itself, some fog in the morning, which will be more widespread, I expect, than what we see Saturday, but a Delta breeze both afternoons. So warmer than average by about 6 degrees both Saturday and Sunday, and then a Delta breeze. So even though it'll be a warm afternoon, the evening is really not going to be all that bad, especially later on in the evening once we get to about 8, 9 o'clock. Once the sun starts to go down and that breeze is still kicking, it's going to be cooling off quickly. So a really nice Easter weekend across Northern California. And a little side note here, that Sunday's high of 81, even though it's occurring on April 20th, it's like comparing apples and oranges. Last year, Easter was March 31st and the high temperature was just 69 degrees. So quite a difference in temperature between Easters, but of course, you know, difference of 3 weeks there. It's like apples to oranges, but nonetheless, I digress. Here we go. Picking up with the Delta breeze, maybe a little bit that Friday evening breeze, but it hasn't been very strong on Friday. It's mainly been a north wind for Friday. Saturday, though, is a different story. Not much wind through the daytime. Then that traditional Delta breeze develops. Winds about 15 to 25 miles per hour, just kind of depending on where you are. If you're in the valley, a little weaker. If you're through the Delta, a little stronger. Very similar setup on Sunday, about 15 to 20 miles per hour on Sunday. But again, this is going to happen both evenings. So even though it's warmer than normal for the time of year, during the afternoon hours, those evenings are going to be so nice with that Delta breeze. As we look at Futurecast, there's some of that light patchy fog showing up there on Futurecast. Not real widespread. That's about it. Only lasts a couple hours. Saturday afternoon, plenty of sunshine. The only clouds are going to be out through the Bay Area with some of that stronger marine layer. Once we get to Sunday, though, Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning, you see some of that fog working its way through the valley. It's going to be much more widespread. Again, not necessarily dense, but there it is for between about, we'll say, 6 and 9 a.m. on Easter Sunday. By the time we get to the afternoon, though, maybe a few high clouds out there, especially in the foothills, southern Sierra. That's it, though. I'm expecting mostly to completely sunny skies and highs again in those low 80s. So here's future visibility here. There's some of that patchy fog for Saturday morning. It's not dense, only reducing visibility 3 to 5 miles. Something to keep an eye on for sure, just to be mindful of. But then Sunday morning, it does look much more widespread, and visibility will be more reduced for Easter Sunday morning, down to half a mile, maybe a quarter mile for some areas. And again, it's going to be across most of the valley and Delta, as opposed to just patchy fog that we'll see Saturday morning. So just keep that in mind if you have early morning plans for Easter Sunday. Again, about 6 degrees warmer than normal both Saturday and Sunday. Monday is actually going to be the peak of the heat, though, when we top out in those mid-80s, about 9 degrees warmer than normal for the time of year. Average high on Monday is 75. So again, that's where we're getting that +9 from. But then look at Tuesday, we drop back towards 80, and then by Wednesday, we're in those mid-70s. So kind of like what we saw this week, where we started on a high note near 89 and then we just kind of lost temperature each day. It's going to happen once again for this coming week, and that's because that low pressure system is exiting. So for the weekend, high pressure is the dominant weather pattern driver here, and that lasts through about Monday. But then that high pressure moves out. We're between high pressure systems for the week, and then we get this low pressure scooting in towards the end of the work week into next weekend. So that's going to bring us some cooler than normal temperatures. Some models are hinting at the potential for some showers. I'm not saying that's going to happen. It's just some models. There's not great agreement on that. And even if we see showers, it's not going to be a lot of rain. It's just going to be some light sprinkles here and there. Something we'll track. No rain icons over the next several days, but just be aware that there is another pattern change on the way. Could be some breezy conditions through next weekend as well, before I expect high pressure to build back in after that. So over the next 8 to 14 days, this is going to be April 26th through May 2nd. Can you believe it? We're already talking about May. Leaning cooler than normal for the time of year across much of California, but on the flip side, also leaning a little bit wetter as well to end April and start May. And again, it doesn't take much rain for us to lean a little bit wetter this time of year. So just some showers possible, but I think this is a little misleading. I'm not really looking at rain chances very seriously over the next 5 to 10 days. Just something to be mindful of. Like I said, no rain icons as we go through the next 5 days in the foothills and the Sierra. Easter Sunday in the foothills going to be in those mid-70s with sunny skies. In the high country going to be in those low 60s, also with sunny skies. But notice the temperature does drop as we go through the work week. So by the time we get to Wednesday, foothill temperature is going to be in those upper 60s. Sierra temperature is going to be in the upper 50s. We're also going to start to see some clouds building back into the region as well. Here's the valley forecast now. 80 on Saturday, 81 for Easter Sunday, clear skies, again some patchy fog possible Saturday morning and then more widespread on Sunday morning. By Monday, that's the peak of the heat, 84 degrees, and then look at how temperatures drop once again. By the end of the work week, we're talking about highs in those mid to upper 60s for parts of the valley with some clouds moving in as well. Average high 75 to 76 by the time we get to the end of the week. So that's going to be almost 10 degrees below normal for the time of year. And then temperatures do start to rebound in the extended part of the forecast there. So these next 10 days not going to be all that different from the previous 10 days that we just had, where temperatures go up by several degrees, way warmer than average, and then they are at average, and then they just drop below average for a while, and then they rebound. And that's springtime in Northern California, where we go up and we go back down and then we go back up again. And at some point, we're going to just keep increasing in temperature, and highs will be 90, 95, 110 before we know it, right? 110 still quite a ways down the road, though. Thanks for watching. Be sure to download the ABC 10 Plus app if you're watching this, say, on YouTube. The ABC 10 Plus app, you can download it wherever you stream, and you can find more extended weather forecasts like this one, along with weather explainers as well. Thanks for watching.